16 and 17 review of the Fantasy Baseball League. I guess I should explain what's happening. I got a text today. Well, I sent the text to Team V and asking him when we were going to start the videos again, because we're almost 2 weeks behind. And he said, do we have to do them? So I died inside a little bit there, and then so then I replied and I said, you don't want to do them anymore? And that was at 9 in the morning, and I waited for a response. I never got a response. And then at like 5 o'clock or something, he called me. I was excited about the phone call. I was. And then I asked him, I was like, so, are you just busy? Can you not do them? And he was like, oh yeah, I was just busy. And then I was like, well, is it that you're busy, or do you really not want to do them? And then he was like, to be honest, it's a little bit of both. So he doesn't want to do them anymore, is what that means. So, see, my lights just got brighter because there's a storm or something outside. It's a sign he doesn't want to do them anymore. So now I have to do them all by myself. You know how boring that's going to be? But it's not about it being boring. It's about, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so if we can go back to week 16, it was the All-Star week. So it was 10 days or 11 days or something like that. So the first matchup was me, Bear Batchers, with a 12-5 win over Zips. See, I'm going to try to make this more exciting now. I'm going to try to up my game, even though I'm all by myself and hurting on the inside. I will do it. Anyway, 12-5, Bear Bashers with the win. The stats are all skewed because it was such a long thing. Yeah, I hit 20 home runs for the week, which sounds amazing, but it was a week and a half. Zips only had a 228 batting average, and this might have killed his playoff hopes with a 12-5 loss. His pitching was a 5.51 ERA and a 1.51 WHIP. Those are really bad, in case you're new to this. So, yeah, that might have been the nail in the coffin for Zips' playoff push. There's still a lot of weeks left, sort of, for this review. But anyway, so let's go to the next matchup. And the next matchup was 66-44 with the 10-5 win over Team V. What do you think about that, Team V? He's not here, so I'm sure he would have some clever excuses or something along those lines. They actually tied in batting average. They both had 262 batting averages, but 66-44 must have won by percentage points because he got the point. I don't know if it's rigged. I don't know. Team V had a 4.07 ERA and a 1.36 WHIP. It was a very un-Team V-esque. So 66-44 with that big 10-5 win there, trying to push his way into the playoffs, fighting with Ben's champions for the 6th seed. That's pretty exciting. Let me go to the next matchup here, and sorry, I have to apologize. I've changed a lot of my text tones to my mood, my current mood. So I'm sorry about that. But anyway, I'm sorry. Next matchup was Alaska Glaciers with the 12-4 win over Baseball Stars. Baseball Stars does still have a team, believe it or not, and it didn't really show up there for that. I mean, for 11 days, Baseball Stars had a 240 batting average, 9 homers, and 39 RBIs, and that's not good for a week and a half. So Alaska Glaciers won all of the offensive categories. They actually tied in stolen bases, but he won all the other ones. And then innings pitched was 99 and 2/3 to 90 and 1/3. So Baseball Stars started a lot of guys, which at least he's trying. But both of their ERAs were really bad, 4.42 and 4.78. That is not good. But Alaska Glaciers with that 12-4 win catapults him, and you'll see more in the next week's matchups whenever I get there. But that was a really big win for Alaska Glaciers and pushed down Baseball Stars even farther. And then Ben's Champions with the 9-8 win over Five Swords. Five Swords really trying to maintain competitiveness with a 298 batting average. He had 21 home runs. That's a lot in a week and a half. So Five Swords with 6 more home runs than Ben's Champions. You never thought you'd say that in a matchup, did you? But Five Swords really with a bad pitching week there, 4.66 ERA. To Ben's Champions, 2.73. If Ben's Champions can have that kind of ERA, he could easily sneak into the playoffs. So 9-8 win for Ben's Champions. Not much to say there except you would think Ben's Champions might have had to get a bigger win there, trying to push to get into the playoffs. But you never know. And then the last matchup for Week 16 was Cobra Kai continued his rise with the 12-5 win over Team Jobu. Team Jobu had the big win over Bear Bashers the week before, but then did not show up there against Cobra Kai, although it was respectable. At least the batting average was. Some of the other offensive categories, like the 13 home runs in a week and a half, isn't fantastic. Cobra Kai had 72 RBIs. That's crazy for a week and a half. Both the ERAs weren't great. Cobra Kai had a 3.93 ERA, and Team Jobu had a 4.63 ERA, but either way, it doesn't matter. All you got to do is beat who you play, and Cobra Kai with a 12-5 win over Team Jobu. So now, that was the end of the matchups for Week 16. So now I got to get to Week 17, and that will be great so that we can talk about... Yeah, I probably shouldn't have changed my text tones. It just makes me even sadder. But anyway, let's see. Week 17. Week 17, Cobra Kai had the big win over Bear Bashers, 11-5. A lot of matchups were really, really close, especially on the offensive side. Doubles were 18-12. That's not really that close, but home runs were tied. RBIs 37-33. Stolen bases 5-3. Batting average 296-284. On base percentage 356-351. Cobra Kai was very, very close on a lot of those categories. His team did very well this week. I'd ask Team V to give me the roto stats, but again, he still is not here, so he cannot do that. But I'm pretty sure that both of these teams had pretty good offensive weeks for sure. Cobra Kai had a great pitching week, 2.59 ERA, 1.15 WHIP. But the 1.15 WHIP wasn't good enough to beat Bear Bashers, who strategically benched a lot of his guys on Sunday. But I'm still not sure if the math isn't. I'm not even sure if that was the right thing to do. It's hard to figure all that out because he ended up winning Ks by just a couple, and he ended up winning quality starts by 2. But there was a couple guys that that they didn't pitch well for me, so I don't know. It's too confusing for me, but it seemed like the right thing to do at the time. But anyway, Cobra Kai with an 11-5 win, so that was pretty exciting. The next matchup was, let's see, Team V with the 11-7 win over Baseball Stars. Team D with a 293 batting average, 7 home runs, and 27 RBIs. And actually, that's pretty good considering his top 3 offensive guys, Altuve, Trout, and Judge, are all on the DL, all simultaneously. That is awful. So for him to actually win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 offensive categories, that's pretty good. That's the way I look at it. And his pitching was just out of this world. Oh my goodness. 148 ERA and 0.85 whip for the week. That's crazy. I mean, Baseball Stars ERA was 3.68, which isn't great, but wasn't terrible. And he was 5-1, Baseball Stars pitching wise, so it wasn't bad. But fortunately, these pitching stats were just too much for an 11-7 win over Baseball Stars. And then Alaska Glaciers with the 10-6 win over. Oh my, who was it? 10-6 win over Zips. Alaska Glaciers still making that push. It's a big push to try to get into the playoffs. Yeah, I shouldn't have done this. And yeah, so I guess the good news is I have a lot of different people that are talking to me. I mean, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so matchups. Where was I? Alaska Glaciers with the 10-6 win over Zips. So, a 182 batting average for Alaska Glaciers. You know, that's pretty hard to do. 182 is really, really low. He did have 13 homers and 31 RBIs, so that's pretty cool. But still, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 offensive categories that Zips won in this matchup. And I think Alaska Glaciers' Achilles heel might be that offense. That's what my guess is. His pitching was very, very good. Alaska had a 2.61 ERA and a 107 whip. Zips was a 3.84 ERA and a 1.29 whip. So, yeah, not near as good as Alaska Glaciers, but Alaska Glaciers gets the win 10-6, and Zips continues to sink farther down. Ben's Champions with the 9-7 win over 66-44. This was a big matchup as both guys are fighting for that 6th seed. Not a lot of progress was made either way. 66-44's offense did not show up with a 244 batting average and only 6 home runs. Ben's Champions bragged in the text about his 426 OBP on base percentage of 426. So that was really good. He did hit 319, 12 homers, 38 RBIs. That has to be one of the top offenses of the week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 offensive categories for Ben's Champions. Very, very good. And then Ben's Champions pitching came back to earth a little bit this week, though, with that 4.64 ERA and a 1.32 whip, which was close, almost sneaked it, but 66-44 with that 1.31 whip was just enough to win that one. So, yeah. So, really not much progress made between either of them trying to fight for that 6th seed. Ben's Champions, 9-7. So yeah. Then one more matchup. Team Jobu with the 10-6 win over 5 Swords. This was crucial for Team Jobu's to try to maintain relevance as he was sinking quick there. Boy, was he... Team Jobu had a nice week to play 5 Swords. 221 batting average and a 323 OBP. Why do I keep struggling with that? I think when Team Jobu told me that I was struggling with it, now it's in my head. I didn't even realize I was doing it. Anyway, 221 batting average for 5 Swords is not good enough. Team Jobu, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 offensive categories won. The pitching was not good for Team Jobu, though, and that's why the categories were close, as he had a 4.08 ERA. And the 120 whip wasn't really terrible, but 5 Swords had a better one with a 110 whip. Good job out of 5 Swords. So that's all the matchups there. So now what we should do is we should look at the standings. And the standings read now. Bear Bashers has fallen out of first place And that is a very sad thing. But Bear Bashers is only a game and a half out with 4 weeks to go. 18, 19, 20, 21, I believe. 4 weeks to go. So Alaska Glaciers is in first by a half game. Cobra Kai is in second. Bear Bashers is in third, a game and a half back. Team V is in fourth, 4.5 back. Team Jobu is in fifth, 9 back. That's very important. Team Jobu is on that teeter of falling into the lower echelon as opposed to the top echelon. Can I say that? I just did. 66-44 is 19 back. Ben's Champions is 21 back, meaning Ben's Champions is 2 games out of a playoff spot with 4 weeks to go. So, that was the recap. I guess I'm not really prepared for this, but I wanted to get it out because I guess I should do power rankings, but I don't have the little cool cardboard laminated things that I can put there. I don't have them. Maybe I'll ask Team V if he'll let me borrow him out of the goodness of his heart. I don't know if he will or not, but it'll be interesting. That's right, I will. This is the only upbeat one I have, because everything else was just too sad. But this one makes me happy, because I'm going to survive. I'm going to do it, even though probably won't be as good or exciting anymore. But that's okay. That's all right, because I'm going to finish this season at least, because I got all the way to this far. All the way to this far? Is that the right? That's not the right way to say it. I got all the way to week 17, so there's only 4 more weeks in the playoffs. I got to finish it up, because I'm no quitter, and you can take that however you would like. Now I realize that there's other people that might be quitting, and now they might take offense to that, and I didn't try that. But anyway, so this is going to be a really short video. I don't really have a hot topic because I wasn't prepared to do it this way. But I thought I should do it, and I did it, and it's done. So, yeah. So I will try to figure out what to do now for the rest of the season all by myself. But that's okay. I have more motivation now. So it'll be sweeter when no one talks to me if I win, because no one's talking to me now. So but it would be sweeter in my head if I thought about it, and I would get to celebrate it all by myself, I think. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. This probably wasn't a great idea now looking back, but it's done, and it's in the books, and I hope Cobra Kai liked the beginning of the photoshopped Chicago Bulls, because I did that. Well, I didn't do the Photoshop. He did the Photoshop, but I did it for him. So that exists too. Everything exists. That's all that matters, is that it exists. And we don't quit. We don't quit. Everybody quits. I don't understand why. See you next week.